The verdict is in, and Harry wins 15 claims in his phone hacking case against Mirror Publisher. Well, hello, and today is a great day for one of the sons for the late Diana, Princess of Wales. Straight from London this morning time, a judgment has been ruled. Let's talk about it. Justice Timothy Fancourt in the High Court today found that phone hacking was, as I quote, widespread and habitual at the Mirror Group newspaper over many years, and private investigators were an integral part of the system to gather information unlawfully on Harry and his associates. The justice further stated executives at the papers were aware of the practices and covered it up. Justice Fancourt found the newspapers had indeed invaded the Duke's privacy by using unlawful gathering of information to produce 15 of the 33 articles examined at the trial. The Duke was awarded damages for the distress he suffered and a further sum for aggravated damages to, and I quote, reflect the particular hurt and sense of outrage. To partially quote the judge, they turned a blind eye to what was going on and positively concealed it, end quote. The judge also stated that the Mirror Group was, and I quote, not responsible for all of the unlawful activity directed at the Duke. Let's take a look and a listen at a few responses by the Mirror Group, the Duke of Sussex, and of course, Piers Morgan. A spokesperson for the Mirror Group went on to release this statement, and I quote, we welcome today's judgment that gives the business the necessary clarity to move forward from events that took place many years ago. Where historical wrongdoing took place, we apologize unreversedly, have taken full responsibility, and paid appropriate compensation, end quote. Very generic, very that was us then, this is us now, we've done our deed, forgive us, let's move on, we're doing the same. Let's take a look at Prince Harry's statement.
This case is not just about hacking. It is about a systemic practice of unlawful and appalling behaviour, followed by cover-ups and destruction of evidence, the shocking scale of which can only be revealed through these proceedings. The court has found that Mirror Group's principal board directors, their legal department, senior executives, and editors such as Piers Morgan clearly knew about or were involved in these illegal activities. Between them, they even went as far as lying under oath to Parliament during the Leveson inquiry, to the Stock Exchange, and to us all ever since. The journey to justice can be a slow and painful one. And since bringing my claim almost 5 years ago, defamatory stories and intimidating tactics have been deployed against me and at my family's expense. And so, as I too have learned through this process, patience is in fact a virtue, especially in the face of vendetta journalism.
The Duke was not in appearance for the ruling today, but now let's take a listen to Piers Morgan, and I want to warn you, this is going to piss you off.
I've got a short statement for you. Today, a judge in the High Court in London has ruled on various cases, including Prince Harry's claim against Mirror Group newspapers, where I was an editor until 2004. The judgment finds there is just one article relating to the Prince, published in the Daily Mirror during my entire 9-year tenure as editor, that he thinks may have involved some unlawful information gathering. To be clear, I had then, and still have, zero knowledge of how that particular story was gathered. All his other claims against the Daily Mirror under my editorship were rejected. With regard to the judge's other references to me in his judgment, I also want to reiterate, as I've consistently said for many years now, I've never hacked a phone or told anybody else to hack a phone. And nobody has produced any actual evidence to prove that I did. I wasn't called as a witness, it's important for people to know this, by either side in the case, nor was I asked to provide any statement. I would have very happily agreed to do either or both of those things had I been asked. Nor did I have a single conversation with any of the Mirror Group lawyers throughout the entire legal process. So, I wasn't able to respond to the many false allegations that were spewed about me in court by old foes of mine with an axe to grind, most of which, inexplicably, were not even challenged in my absence by the Mirror Group Counsel. But I note the judge appears to have believed the evidence of Omid Scobie, who lied about me in his new book, and he lied about me in court, and the whole world now knows him to be a deluded fantasist. And he believed the evidence of Alistair Campbell, another proven liar who spun this country into an illegal war. Finally, I want to say this. Prince Harry's outrage at media intrusion into the private lives of the royal family is only matched by his own ruthless, greedy, and hypocritical enthusiasm for doing it himself. He talked today about the appalling behaviour of the press, but this is a guy who's repeatedly trashed his family in public for hundreds of millions of dollars, even as two of its most senior and respected members were dying, his grandparents.
I am going to stop the interview, his statement at that point, because he just goes on to talk so much trash. People like him are the type of people who can dish it, but they can't take it back, right? This man has spent the last 7 years talking horribly about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and the Duchess specifically. He is a crass individual, and he just exudes hatred. Clearly not a product of Kate Middleton's Shaping Us. The Duke of Sussex breaking away from the institution is very important. It freed him and gave him the opportunity to do what his father couldn't or wouldn't. I'm going to go with wouldn't on this one. It also gave him the opportunity to do publicly what his brother did privately. There are times where you should settle, and there are times where you should take it to trial. And this is the time you should take it to trial. Harry still has 2 other suits going against the Daily Mail as well as News Group newspapers, so we shall see what those outcomes are. Given that this ruling is in favor of Harry, granted, it's not a complete ruling of the 33, but it's still very substantial. This is nothing but the start of change, I would hope, when it comes to journalism, as they like to call it over there, and how they may report stories and gather information for stories. Frankly speaking, I am tired of hearing sources. Let's name the people. Where did they get this? Comment your thoughts below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.